probably up until tomorrow. So I do want to start off by talking about that UJ first. I mean, not UJ, GU. I don't know why I said UJ. So I kind of gave, if you guys saw within the chat, what I was pretty much outlining with like GU, GBP, AUD. So remember, Ty, last week we were looking at GU to continue selling, right? So
Right.
at this point, it started exhausting, and I started doing some digging over the weekend, pretty much today. And I looked at what the market was showing me because I was still in my sell, and then it started making its way back up here. I was like, I don't like it. What time frame was that? So if you read GU found support on the 1 hour. More accurate is that GU found a previous high looking for, that I was supposed to say, for price to return to UK's bank entry gold line. And that was basically what we were looking at when I said that the bank had pretty much entered the market. So if we go on the hour time frame, let me get rid of this. I got a bunch of stuff that I'm looking at this week. If we go down to the hour time frame, this, if you guys see, this is where the previous high was. And how do you know that? Just turn it to a line chart. If you break it down, there's probably like a move like this. You know what I'm saying? Something like that. Right. And then all you would do is just, if you just did it by zone, so if you just did it by zone and went over to the right side, it should have hit. You know what I'm saying? That's just me just eyeballing it. You know what I mean? You see it hit the bottom of that zone. So price pretty much respected the previous high that was over here that normally if you don't break it down to a smaller time frame, you won't see that. Let me get my, hold on, guys. Where it is?
I jumped in the GA.
So price did go up 20 pips, and then it looks like it's trying to either retest the entry or find a previous high. I'm looking for it to go the full length, but I'm gonna discuss that after I go over GU. So GU created a Sunday candle, but TradingView didn't let me capture it. My MetaTrader 4 let me capture it. So I told y'all, that hurts. I told y'all normally the Sunday candle, if you're gonna find it, it's gonna be somewhere between like 6:45, which, you know, this is military time, so 18:45, 18:30, around pretty much 6 to 7 o'clock, you're gonna find that candle. It's gonna be somewhere in here, you box it up, and then you draw a line at its high point of that candle and that low point. The better time frame is the 30-minute if you find it, because it gives you a broader range of like the high and low of the market. And then you can use that information to see if price returns back in it and respects it for like a retest, or if price blows through it. And then, you know, that'll give you another opportunity for on the selling side if it didn't pop up first. And, you know, like I said, I'll show you guys, but that's something that I spotted, and I did my same entry, well, where I would like the market to come down for GU. So I had 22,260 is that's 50% of that Sunday candle that I boxed up on MetaTrader 4. So this is a bullish pattern. We've seen this happen so many times. I could probably spot it with my eyes closed. Every time on Sunday we see something like this where the market it'll give you this move of like a potential evening star, right? Not evening star, I don't know why I said that, but bearish flag, right? It'll give you that move of like a bearish flag, and then for some reason the market pops up, doesn't respect the move of a bearish flag, and then continues in this direction. And it's normally giving you, like I said, that potential move of like a bearish flag. But if it was a bearish flag, to me, it wouldn't have tried to break up out of here and then fall down. It would have pretty much started falling down from here, because price would have stayed within a certain channel. It tried to break this channel, and you see that's pretty much exercising its right to say, I want to get bullish from here or wherever I find a previous support structure, a previous high or support structure, which I believe is going to be at 22,260. So I'm looking for price to come possibly as low as that. Why do I have that? I don't know why that's there. So either pretty much this is the high of that Sunday candle, or this is the previous high of that Sunday candle. I'm looking for GU to either get bullish from here, or like I said, from this zone, which would be like 7 pips from our current entry. So, it's up to y'all to make a decision on what y'all want to do. I'm already in it, but like I said, I do want to see it possibly come down this low. And if you look, it's actually respecting, a trend. So we have 1, 2. You see 2 is always the biggest jump to 3. And then, once we get 3 to come up a little bit more, probably get your retest and then break out. However the market is gonna, I really count this as like 1, because we could have the possibility of me looking at this a little bit premature, and this entire move could be 1, and then this could be 2, which means that if this is 2, it will send the market even higher than what we anticipate. Well, I actually was anticipating 1, 2, 4, so it would make sense if this market came all the way down here and then decided to sell off from there. But if it sells off like from 2, 4, 1, 2, 4, or the London or this next London area, then price is probably like breaking through, like it's selling hard. You know what I'm saying? So I am looking for it to come to 1, 2, 4. And then from there, we'll probably have that towards like Monday, Tuesday. It'll give us a clear path on what the market is trying to do. I think probably if we reach this up to New York, more than likely, New York will want to sell this like pretty hard, like probably down to a swing high. A swing low, and then bring the market up. So I could see something like this if the market was to continue going up right now. Obviously not a straight line, but something like that. You know what I'm saying? Like this will push buyers out of the market, but also trap sellers who are like, oh man, this thing is about to make its way all the way down here. It could, if it decided to come all the way down, it could start breaking through, and then just pretty much, because at that point, if that's the case, then that means this is the third move, and then that price was really like bearish from here. So we'll just gauge the market from there. But like I said, I am bullish on GU. I think the dollar is going to continue moving down until we get to New York, or like 4 a.m. in the morning. Look at the dollar right now. Oh, it did come back up to that candle. Surprise. I thought I was going to do that later on, but that's even better. So price is actually filling this gap that's over here. I know it may be hard to see, but there was a gap, like if you paid attention to the open of the market. So this is a gap in the market right here. So you see price, it came back up for that. Why are you not doing what I want you to do? Probably because but anyway, price came back up for that. So now I think that price is going to continue selling. We'll just gauge the market. So I don't want to do anything that's like, is it raining? It is raining. I don't want to overthink the market. What it's been doing for us for the most part, specifically the dollar, when it creates a gap and then it comes straight to it like immediately, it's been kind of capturing the gap and then actually going in that direction. That actually brings something to my attention. USDZAR, I wonder if we're selling from there. No, It captured that gap that you were looking for, though, Lee. I think it did. Oh, look at Bitcoin. Is it selling from there? Yep, definitely selling from there. That was my sell zone for Bitcoin, so I think Bitcoin is selling from there. I'm actually looking at the dollar and the Bitcoin to move, not identical, but somewhat alike. So while Bitcoin is selling, I think the dollar is going to be selling. While the dollar is buying, I think Bitcoin, not in that sequence, but overall, we'll see them kind of do the same thing. This has been a long-term like guess of mine or a theory of mine that they're going to be moving in tandem, just because the imbalance of the economy. Let's look at GA. So like I said, GA looks like it's heading right back to my entry. But I think that'll just give us a second opportunity to buy up. I'm still bullish on this market. So we see something else. We are at a level of resistance, but this is also consolidation. And again, y'all know how I roll when it comes to consolidation from a previous move. So market started consolidating from bullish momentum. So I still think that we're bullish. We're just struggling to break up out of here. It's already been at its low points. But if this market does decide to like create a candle that breaks its low and you got back in this entry or you're still holding this trade, then obviously you need to pretty much take this as a loss. I wouldn't, like I always have my stops at break even and then just look for a secondary entry. But if it got below here again, I would pretty much say that this trade is void and, you know, it's probably still continuing to move down. But I don't think that we're at a true level of resistance. I just think that price is giving itself a hard time to push up. There is news going on at 4 a.m. for the Australian dollar. So I didn't see what it was per se. And I didn't see like, did I look at it? No, I didn't look at it yet. I'm gonna look at it later on. But it's high news. So I know that whatever it's going to do to impact the market, whether it's going to continue it in this direction, or if we're all the way up here, that could be the news that makes the Australian dollar get positive, get bullish, and then start to actually pull this market down farther, like from this position. Again, I'm still moving with that 20 to 30 pip mindset. So we were up 21 pips. I took like partials from GA. And now I'm looking for a continuation. And it'll probably take all the way up until tomorrow for this thing to fully make its move. Again, don't give up any position that you got where you're in profit because it is Sunday going into Monday. But all we're pretty much waiting for is this market to pretty much break out of this area. It gives us a bull candle that breaks out of here. Yeah, it's definitely going up to this position. And this is a smaller payout when it comes to the currency. So I see it going there faster than any other pair because if you look at the payout, a standard is not a standard here. I think it may be rated as like a 0.7 or a 0.6 like on this market. So obviously you can use a portal called, let me show y'all real quick. I think it's FXTM.
GBP is strong as hell right now too.
Yeah, FXTM, right? So profit calculator. You don't got to set up an account to use it. Just scroll down and go to whatever currency pair you're using. What are we at? 84019. 84019. Oh no. $35064. GBPAUD, hold on. So you see that number? I was right, and I was guessing. So look how many pips on, like, how many pips like that is that I'm showing y'all on the chart on Discord. But I'll tell y'all anyway, like, without y'all doing the math, it's 104 pips, right? If that was a standard and you made it to 104 pips from your entry, how much money should you really make?
1,040.
1,040. You see what profit you would come up as?
694.
So what does that mean that you're moving as based off the lot size?
Shit, close to 0.5.
0.5, 0.6, you know what I'm saying? 0.5, 0.6 right there. So that also works in favor when it comes to your stop loss. So say that you know this information. Well, now, because I know that, okay, if I lost, well, obviously, if I'm gonna lose $600, I mean, like, I need to literally go $100 in profit. I mean, in drawdown. You know what I'm saying? So nobody's gonna allow themselves to go, you know what I'm saying, $100 unless it's like indices and drawdown, right? Not with Forex pairs. So I can change my lot size because I know this information, because now I'm only doubling the risk on the gain side because I know what my stop loss should be based off of this market. You know what I'm saying? Based off of this currency pair. You see what I'm saying? So now I can increase my risk, but lessening the blow, because one, it's not rated as a standard. So I'm not really moving as a standard. I'm moving as a 0.6. So I need to put my loss, what I would allow myself to lose, with a 0.6. I'm not going to allow myself to lose 100 pips. You know what I'm saying? I'll allow myself to lose like 30, 20, which if you lower that risk, you know what I'm saying? Like, let's say, what would that be? 420, 20, 39. See what you be, am I doing that right? Hold on. Make sure my math is right. Oh no, I was off. That's 3. That's 3. So if I'm doing the math like I'm buying, but I'm doing it backwards as if this was your stop loss. So this is 30 pips from your target. You see what I'm saying? Well, close, like 30, 29, somewhere like that. That's how much money you would lose if price hits your stop. You know what I'm saying? Like, not too bad, especially if it's like, okay, I can lessen that. I can lessen it to 15 pip stop loss. I can lessen it to a 20 pip stop loss. You know what I'm saying? So I can ease the blow, but now the gain, you know, is much more, but I've lessened because now I know the conditions of this currency pair or this exchange rate at that, or that, that exchange rate at that time that price is fluctuating. So it's like, use this information because you can take advantage of it on the opposite side instead of like, oh man, it ain't a good payout. Well, that means that your loss ain't going to be that bad neither. You know what I'm saying? Correct. Because the payout isn't. So now you can use, now you can use better risk management to make a sound decision within this market. That's just like tips and stuff that it's like, I feel like as traders, we should know some of that information.
Bro, I swear I ain't know that shit. You just put me on. All right. Because I did what we was talking about and jumped in 2 positions at half a standard. So I'm assuming that I got a total standard in there, which you just confirmed that I don't.
Well, no, a standard rate is rated as a 0.6. So
that's what I'm saying.
Okay. You saying?
Yeah,
okay,
so
I see what
like
you're
the
saying.
same. That's how I knew it was 1,040, because when I counted the pips, I'm like, okay.
So now on the opposite side of you losing, you are really risking less. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's like you can go into the trade a little bit more confident, even if it's like the trade was to go against you. Man, at least I put my stop here, you know what I'm saying, to impact the loss that I didn't like it, but still wasn't too bad if I was moving as an actual standard. You know what I mean? Right. That shit hit 30 pips at an actual standard, that's $300 gone. Right. You know what I'm saying? Right. Like, bye-bye. Yeah, so GU definitely showing signs. I don't know if he'll try to sneak like a position down here, but for what we're seeing, it is bullish. I like it. I'm in it. I did want to talk about gold too, so that's why I'm looking at GU to go to. Back to our position that we were looking at last week, and then from there, you kind of got to make a decision. Do I see it breaking it? Absolutely, but we are at resistance at this point. And anytime I've seen the market come back up to the bank entry, so when New York shoots the market up, when this bank starts to close towards like 12, New York will probably sell this market again. You see what I'm saying? So when it's time for this market to come all the way back up here, New York, it'll be New York's time to be in full control of this market, because London will be at its height like towards like 7, 8, you know what I'm saying, and start to lose like volume and entries towards like as we get closer to like 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, definitely 12, because that's when the London session closes. So you're looking at that. You're looking at London, not a United Kingdom or European bank not controlling the market during New York session, basically, because there's no high impact news governing it. You know what I'm saying? Because the last time we had this news during New York, it was because we had high impact news from the United Kingdom. So I expect this market to be back up here tomorrow. Again, get in and get out, turn it all about, you know what I'm saying? Do the hokey pokey and make a lot of money, you know what I mean? GA is being a stubborn one with us, but like I said, I do expect it to come back down here, and then probably the next candle push up, if this candle doesn't push up from there. We're still bullish. It's just doing these fake outs. We're still bullish. This is doing these fake outs right here. So gold, that's what I wanted to talk about. I think gold is actually trying to reverse on us. I think that resistance that it was making, where it created that double, when you just looked at it on the 4-hour, it created like a double top. I think this is fake. I think this is a fake move in order to trap sellers in the market and push this market all the way up. There's really no reason why gold shouldn't continue coming up. It just seems like it's trying to find a better point to sell off from. I haven't heard any news that's going to be impacting it, but just looking at it now, I can see that from here it started selling and the market could actually come back to this imbalance, but we'll just have to see what it tries to do like later on. Right now it's kind of stagnant, but the fact that, you know, it kind of got exhausted right here. This is a bearish harami. Let me find it on the 30. I mean, a bullish harami. I don't know why I always end up saying the wrong thing. Where we at? Is it on the hour? See, every time price creates new data, it never shows you the same thing. But anyway, this is, no, it wasn't. 30. Oh, okay, I think it was in the smaller time frame that I found it. Okay, right here. This is a bullish harami, right? So same thing. So you normally find this in the continuation of a trend or at the end like of a downtrend, vice versa at the end of an uptrend if you find a bearish harami, right? So what I normally do is I put my fib to it and I see how far price retraces. I'm not looking for a specific like percentage for it to return. I mean, I know it has to meet 50%, but I'm looking to see how far it returns. It came all the way down to 618. That's the point that it crossed. It tried to touch 786, but it didn't. So in my belief, this market is bullish, right? This market is currently bullish because we did return at least 618 to 50%, and we closed above, as far as like structure, we closed above 38%. So to me, this market is completely bullish right now. And I think once we get back to these resistance zones, then we'll have another opportunity to sell. But I think gold is going to want to create, like I said, at least within this time frame of the 8 hour, like a new high on this 8 hour, and then decide to sell off from there. I'm not sure if we're going to get a new high overall, like I called it like last week. It's been showing signs that it really is trying to either return back to some of these previous highs or not create that high that people are looking for. But again, we've been up here multiple times. This is actually our third time being up here, which means that even if we get a push up, we might get a push down, and then that's the breakout to the top side. But I do believe that once we get this breakout, you know, higher up, once we get this breakout higher up, however the market decides to, that'll be when it decides to sell off. So I don't think that gold is going to reach new heights and then just continue. But again, we'll just have to see what the market starts showing us. Nothing is concrete, especially too early to call it. Within Sunday, Monday on these long calls, we'll know more better information by the time Wednesday come, and then just make sound decisions from there. So that's what I'm looking at. I know I have a couple of other trades that I'm looking at, like USDZAR. It looks like it might be coming down now, Lee. Yeah, it looks like it might be ready to come down now. I thought it might have wanted to come up a little bit more. Still looks like it can come up a little bit more, but I am looking at USDZAR to sell off. I would like it to come up back to this consolidation zone up here, but I don't know, it may be ready to sell from down here, but I'll wait for this. This is stuff that I'm just kind of waiting to see what the market does. What else did I have out there that I was looking at? Oh, oil, of course. So oil, I was looking at it to come down, but you know, it's really not, well, I guess it is. It wasn't showing me any clear data, but to me, this is just like, this is just what the market did. You know, you got selling opportunity, push down, given what? I mean, you can clearly see it.
Yo, Torin, I know you said you see Bitcoin taking a tank dive. How far down do you think it's going?
Probably, I'm looking for it to go back to like 20K, but you just got to move in spurts, and then I'll assess it from there. I think it may come to 20K from here, but if not, like 22, 21K. Yeah, oil's coming down. So oil to me looks like it did a break, retest, bring the market down, and then find an area to probably pop up from there. So after it breaks this low, it'll probably pop up to this high again, and then keep it sequenced down. Oh, we got news coming out. Hold up, I heard that. What was that? Euro finally made its decision on whatever they were doing. So yeah, not much activity right now. You already know what time it is. I mean, it is Sunday going into Monday, but because the moves are slower, it's kind of giving you a lot of time to make a decision within this market, to take some plays and stuff. We know today's a scalping opportunity. It's not really a hold, you know, unless we get those concrete positions. The only thing that I'm pretty confident for like a hold is GBPAUD. Everything else is like stick and move. Yeah, so I think oil is coming back down to find some type of either support or just, you know, continue on it. I did have oil coming all the way back down to 51 $51 a barrel, but I don't know. I do want to see it pop up from here, just looking at it on a weekly time frame. I don't want to see it come down, because more than likely, if it comes down and then starts popping up, this thing is coming like all the way up here, and it's probably blowing past all this stuff. So it's probably even blowing past this consolidation just to create a better selling opportunity, which would be like 786, and then the market push down. Just makes sense just because we're at a level of support. So I wouldn't be surprised if oil started getting bullish from here, but I don't think oil's as bullish as people want it to be. Where I know that lady that you have mentioned, Lee, was talking about to buy oil at a certain price. I don't know the conditions that govern oil that would make it get extremely bullish, besides like, you know, investing and a high demand for it. But other than that, based off the technicals, we do need it to come down. So I would like a push up, just back up to that like 70, 71, and then like a push down from there. To me, it seems like it's too early to sell it. Even though it is selling to cover that gap, I just, you know, rather wait for it to show a little bit better signs instead of getting played. It does like a small sell and then it pushes up when we're not looking and then sells down from a higher position. That's actually what I'm expecting. So we'll just wait and see from there. But yeah, those are pretty much my projections for this entire week up until Wednesday. So Wednesday, we'll obviously reassess the market, especially on Tuesday night, see what the market is showing us. See like stuff like the dollar is trying to push up a little. Yeah, so we'll see. We'll see. Just manage the market responsibly. Then we'll make a decision from there. Anything that starts going against you, just close it out. You know, if you're in drawdown, but definitely if we're in profit, let's not let that get away from us. So appreciate y'all. Yeah, let's keep it light and easy today. So I'll probably jump on in the morning, more so for like, you know, analyzing the market to see what kind of news that Bloomberg is saying. I may jump on at 4 a.m. So if y'all are up and y'all see me on, just jump on. It'll be like 4 a.m., 5 a.m. if I get up. And then I'll just be looking at the market if I jump on during New York session. I won't be looking for opportunities, just more so of gauging what the market is trying to do right then and there. So like I said, y'all got what y'all got. Be careful with the GBPAUD. I'm looking at other stuff. I may throw out one other trade. That's if it comes to my entry. But if not, y'all got GBPUSD specifically, and y'all have GBPAUD. So I told you that there's another opportunity I believe the market may push down to with GU. If it does, that's really where I'm looking to buy. Anything lower than that, then that kind of voids that, nullifies that trade. So y'all be safe out there and, you know, make a bunch of money.
All right, bro. Take care.
All right.